This is the Baseball Observer. Able at the Break. Special report by Ernie Brewell. In the ABC Get Off the Schneid, what the All-Star break revealed about the 1981 Action Baseball League championship race. The National Baseball Conference did not announce anything new in Phoenix. It reminded us a 7-0 shutout in the All-Star game would be loud enough standing by itself. But in the Action Baseball League, it does not stand by itself. It stands on top of a decade of evidence. The NBC has now won 9 of the 10 All-Star games, and it has claimed 6 of the 9 championships. That is not a lucky run. That is ownership. So as the 1981 season turns out of the All-Star break and into Act 3, the question is not whether the NBC is strong. We have known that for years. The question is whether the American Baseball Conference can finally get off the schneid. Las Vegas and Houston look capable. Seattle is in position. Denver is close. Cincinnati has the numbers of a club that may be better than its place in the standings. Boston leads the division, even if nobody is mistaking the Patriots for a giant. Philadelphia and New York are flawed, but close enough to the ABC Eastern Division lead to keep the conversation alive. But at some point, the ABC has to stop being interesting. It has to start winning the big arguments. Because right now, the NBC still owns the room. Charlotte carries the cleanest flag. There's one team in the NBC that looks like a complete second-half force. It is the Charlotte Colonels. Charlotte sits at 54-35, first in the NBC Eastern Division, with a plus 85 run differential. That is not a team surviving on timing. That is a team that has earned its posture. And the story matters. Charlotte made its first playoff appearance last year and lost to Chicago in 6 games. That kind of defeat can do 2 things to a club. It can satisfy them because they finally got there, or it can sharpen them because they found out that getting there is not the same thing as finishing. This year's Charlotte club looks sharpened. They're not perfect. Their road record is solid but not overwhelming, and they come out of the break off a modest stumble. But the larger frame is unmistakable. Charlotte is not asking whether it belongs anymore. Charlotte is asking whether this is the year the climb becomes complete. If the NBC has a standard bearer coming into Act 3, it is Charlotte. Dallas and Detroit make the NBC Central a fight. The Dallas Rustlers sit atop the NBC Central at 49-40, but there is no comfort in that chair. The defending champion Detroit Dukes are just 1 game back at 48-41. The Chicago Fire are close enough at 46-43 to keep the air hot. That division is not settled. It is loaded. Dallas is the most fascinating of the 3 because of its history. The Rustlers' only winning season was the 1977 championship run. That makes every Dallas success feel like a question. Is this another bolt of lightning, or is this finally something steadier? Detroit has a different burden. The Dukes are not chasing memory. They are defending a crown. That changes the weight of every series. A defending champion does not get to sneak up on anyone. They are measured every day against what they have already proved. And then there is Chicago. 5 playoff appearances, no title. At some point, the story gets cruel. The Fire are good enough to matter again, but history keeps asking the same question. Will the 6th time finally be the charm? The division may be the best fight in the league, not because it has the best record, but because it has the most consequence. San Francisco lead, but the West is not safe. The San Francisco Warriors lead the NBC Western Division at 48-41, but Phoenix and Los Angeles are close enough to keep the race honest. The Warriors have a winning record and a positive run differential. That matters. But this is not Charlotte's profile. It is not dominance. It is a lead that still needs to be defended. The Phoenix Firebirds sit 2 back at 46-43, and the Los Angeles Cobras are 3 back at 45-44. Neither club has a run differential that inspires full trust, but both remain dangerous because standings are not decided by beauty. They are decided by pressure, timing, and the ability to catch a week before the other fellow does. Los Angeles in particular has enough talent to make the second half uncomfortable. Phoenix has enough proximity to matter. San Francisco has the lead, but not the right to relax. That is the Western truth. The Warriors are first, but the room is still crowded. Las Vegas has waited long enough. If the ABC is going to answer the NBC, Las Vegas may be the first name called. The Gamblers are 52-37, leading the ABC Western Division, carrying a +49 run differential, and coming out of the break with the look of a legitimate frontrunner. But this is not just a standing story. Las Vegas made the playoffs in 1972, then spent years outside the picture before returning last season. Now they are no longer a comeback story. They are a contender. That is a different kind of pressure. It is one thing to be welcomed back to the room. It is another thing to be expected to own part of it. The Gamblers have earned the right to be discussed among the league's best, but the second half is going to ask them whether they can carry expectation. That is the burden of arrival. Nobody is surprised by Las Vegas anymore. The league sees them coming now. If the ABC is going to get off the schneid, Las Vegas may be its loudest argument. Houston has no problem yet. The Houston Mavericks are also 52-37, leading the ABC Central with a +41 run differential. They do not feel accidental. They feel constructed. There is a steadiness to Houston that makes them dangerous. They do not need to be the loudest club in the league if they are the one still standing when the noise clears. But Cincinnati is not going away quietly. The Cincinnati Cougars sit 6 games back, but their +45 run differential is stronger than Houston's. That is the kind of number that makes a baseball man lean forward. Cincinnati has not yet turned its underlying strength into the standing it wants, but it has not been empty either. At 46-43, the Cougars are alive in the race, alive in the wildcard picture, and alive in the imagination, because Scott Reese is still chasing a title. Houston leads the division. Cincinnati may still have something to say about who owns the second half. That is the central tension. Houston has the position. Cincinnati has the hint of unfinished business. The ABC East door is left open. The Boston Patriots lead the ABC Eastern Division at 45-44. That sentence says everything. Boston is a first-place team, and that must be respected. A division lead is a division lead. But the Patriots are barely over 500 and carrying only a +7 run differential. And they come out of the break on a poor stretch. That is not command. That is opportunity. But for whom? For Philadelphia, maybe. The Fury are only 3 games back, and the story there is larger than the standings. Philadelphia is the only able franchise that has never made the playoffs. That is not a note. That is a weight. Every September without October makes the next chase heavier. Or for New York, perhaps. The Aces are 4 back, and they are living in the afterlife of Mike's shoulders. When a manager brings a franchise a title and 6 playoff appearances and then is gone, the new era does not begin quietly. It begins under comparison. Boston leads. Philadelphia hopes. New York searches. The ABC East may be the weakest division on paper, but weak races still send somebody to the Grand Tournament of Champions. Someone is going to win that division. The question is whether anyone will look strong doing it. Seattle and Denver make the ABC West more than Vegas. Las Vegas leads the ABC West, but the division is not a parade. The Seattle Comets are 49-40, 3 games back, and holding the top ABC wildcard position. Their run differential is only +2, which makes them one of the more difficult reads in the league. Are they resourceful? Fortunate? Built for close games? Due for a correction? The second half will answer. The Denver Rocketeers are 47-42, 5 back of Las Vegas, and second in the ABC wildcard line. This is why Las Vegas cannot simply look at Houston across the conference and think about October. The Gamblers first has to deal with the team breathing in their own division. Seattle wants to make the West more than a Las Vegas story. Denver wants to make sure the wildcard path does not run without them. That is how races get honest. "16 roads to October." Coming out of the break, there are 16 clubs with some form of October argument. In the NBC, Charlotte, Dallas, San Francisco, Detroit, Chicago, Miami, Phoenix, and Los Angeles. In the ABC, Las Vegas, Houston, Boston, Seattle, Denver, Cincinnati, Philadelphia, and New York. They are not all equal, and they are not all believable in the same way. Some are division leaders, some are wildcard threats. Some are flawed teams, still close enough to matter. Some have history pushing them forward, and some have history standing in the doorway. But that is Act 3. That is where the standings stop being a table and become a test. Harder Than July will tell us who comes out of the break with legs. August Challenges will tell us who has depth. September call-ups will tell us who has answers left. And then the pennant races will decide who gets to carry that argument into the Grand Tournament of Champions. The second half question. The NBC has already spoken. It has spoken in Phoenix with a 7-0 shutout. It has spoken for years through All-Star games and championships. It has built the league standard and dared the ABC to match it. Las Vegas looks ready. Houston looks steady. Seattle and Denver look close enough. Cincinnati looks better than its record. Boston, Philadelphia, and New York are still alive because the ABC East has left the door open. But promise does not end the drought. Neither does potential, neither does a good July headline. The ABC has to win when the league is watching. Until then, the old truth remains the truth. The NBC owns the room, and the ABC is still trying to get off the schneid. Stay tuned for our Players Report. This is the Baseball Observer.